So faculty are so busy that we rarely have time to get together and talk teaching. So in this brief Lindenwood Learning Academy video, we'll be doing a little bit of shop talk, some seeds for your teaching. I'll add some quick links below or above somewhere on the webpage, and I will leave you with something that you can revise for your own classrooms. So in the spirit of transparent teaching, I'll talk first about the why of what we'll be thinking about today, which is midterm reflections. Simmering on the big back burners of my mind for the past few years has been 21st century education and the skills and habits of mind we need to be cultivating in students to help them navigate the rapidly changing landscape of work and living. Reports from international organizations ranging from World Economic Forum to Oxford University have identified three broad areas that we should be developing in students. The first is creativity, the second is social emotional intelligence, and the third is learning how to learn. Now, as much as I'd love to talk about cultivating creativity and the even more essential skill set of social emotional intelligence, with midterms coming up, we have a chance to think about a brief, deep activities to help cultivate learning how to learn. The Teaching Professor, which is a good little newsletter with author Mary Ellen Weimer, recently noted that students don't tend to encounter themselves as learners. They don't evaluate their learning processes beyond the grades that they receive. So how can we help our students develop awareness of their own learning processes and skills and habits of mind? Master faculty developer Linda Nielsen writes often on self-regulated learning, describing it as the abilities to, quote, plan, monitor, and evaluate one's learning in order to maximize it. Nielsen notes that habits of mind of self-regulated learners include metacognition and meta-emotion. That is, the ability to think about our thinking and think about our feeling in relation to learning tasks. And while it may seem really rudimentary to us, because good teachers do this as second nature, a powerful way to help students develop those meta skills and, quote, encounter themselves as learners is by offering meaningful opportunities to reflect on their own learning. We can integrate this reflection in brief yet deep ways in our class sessions, as part of an assignment, in our weekly homework, as exam wrappers, etc. And Nielsen points out these reflections can be low stakes and ungraded. And she and I, both, and I'm sure all of you would say that the students don't mind these. I mean, they're learning about themselves. They're thinking about how their courses connect with their lives and with each other. So they tend to enjoy them and to do them earnestly if we help set up the why of it, which is that reflection is part of that learning process of becoming that self-regulated learner. Reflections can be on course content, how it connects with their other courses, which helps them move towards interdisciplinary thinking we need to be cultivating. It can also, of course, connect with how our course material relates to their lives, which they love thinking about. It can be on processes of thought in our discipline and factors that support their learning, cognitive, emotional, and environmental, as well as challenges and obstacles and how these were overcome. This last point of challenges and obstacles invites students into how learning works by pointing out that learning entails periods of disorientation and discomfort. There's disintegration that occurs as old models fall away and evolve and new models are integrated. This openness to uncertainty, to not knowing, can help cultivate a learner's mindset, which is a very valuable habit of mind for 21st century people living in uncertain times. Note that reflection need not mean solitary writing. It can take place through think, pair, share activities, full class discussions, video logs, etc. Now, I know many of us employ midterm exams and midterm papers, but another powerful assessment tool and a tool for developing metacognition is what I call a midterm pause, but a pause for student-centered reflection. In the links below, you'll see a faculty focus post on a midterm pause that worked well in my classroom and in my colleagues' classrooms. I wrote it to expand beyond teacher-centered midterm evaluation to more student-centered tool to help them think about their learning. In the post is a template you can tailor to your courses and students. Also linked is a slightly different version that I drafted last fall. That version kind of riffs on James Lang's retrieving syllabus. So I had them go back week through homework sheets I'd given them to look at key insights, key activities, and things they learned week by week. Just feel free to tinker with them for your own courses, make them as you will. And enjoy the other quick reads that are linked below. There's some posts by Linda Nielsen, Mary Ellen Weimer, and I think it's Li Shi Huang. Huang's 5 R's of reflection is a really nice framework for developing more reflective activities in your courses. So happy midterms and happy teaching.